Hello everyone and welcome to this week's behind the scenes devlog video, and this week I'm going to be concentrating on the plants in Equilinox, making a few new models for them and setting their environmental requirements, and I'll be getting started with that in a bit. This morning I've just been trying to catch up with my emails and comment answering because I got a bit behind on that recently, but I've just had some lunch and I'm now ready to get started with work on Equilinox. So first up this week I've been getting straight back to planning out the living requirements for various species, and I thought I'd start off with some easy ones this week because I was having so much trouble with this last week. So I've been starting off with the desert species because there's only 7 of them, so that makes it a lot easier, and I was very quickly able to come up with some good requirements for these, and I've made sure that they all work. So I'll implement them in a bit, but first I just need to create one more cactus model for the game. Just finished making all of the model stages for this new small cactus, and you might have seen that I was also making another cactus model, but I wasn't very happy with that one, so I've left that one out. But this one, I'm about to add this into the game now. It is 5:15 now, and I've just finished adding the new small cactus into Equilinox, along with all of its environmental preferences. And I was also just quickly working on a small program which automatically calculates the breeding time for a species given its life length and breeding maturity age, and this is just going to make things a bit easier when I'm doing the settings for a species. Just been adding a few more of the cactus species back into the game, as you can see, and I've been doing all of their environmental settings, but now I'm going to stop for a bit. I'm going to make a vegetable curry for dinner. Just finishing up for the evening now, and I added a couple more species into the desert biome, and I've also just been rewatching some of Breaking Bad because Better Call Saul finished and I don't have anything else to watch. This morning I've been adding the final desert species into Equilinox, and so the desert biome is now completely finished in terms of plant life. Obviously I've still got the animals to add in, but the plants are all now done. And I'm really happy with how this turned out in terms of the requirements and which plants can now live together and which can't. You can see all the requirements that I chose here, and then down here I've put all of the combinations of plants that can now live together because of these requirements. And there are actually a couple more of these combinations, but these are all the ones that include trees. And as you can see, there's a nice variety of different combinations. Each combination only has 3 species, so there's no way that you can overcrowd an area with loads of different species, and it just turned out very nicely. It's all nice and balanced, and this is really exactly what I'm aiming for with all the species in the game. It's just a lot trickier to achieve this when there are more species and I have to work out the requirements for all the species. It's a lot easier here because there are only 7 species. Next up today, I'm going to be working on the jungle species because there aren't too many of them either, so hopefully that won't be too tricky. And I've just been planning out all of their requirements, and I think that I need a few more plants for the jungle, so I'm going to make a few new models for them now. For the rest of the morning today, I've just been doing lots and lots of modelling in Blender, and I've created a few new species for the jungle. So there's this new mushroom here, there's also this new long grass model, and finally this new tree, which I'm very happy with. And I was also going through a lot of the old models that I had for the jungle, and I've just been tweaking them and making sure that they're all up to scratch. And now I'm going to start adding these all into the game. It is coming up to 3 o'clock now, and I've just finished adding all of the new jungle species into the game, and you can see some of them in the world here. And now I just need to go through all of their settings and set their environmental preferences. So all of the environmental requirements for the jungle plants have now been set, and you can see the requirements that I chose here. And then down here I've written out all of the possible combinations of plants that can now live together based on those requirements. And again, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. There's a good number of combinations here, and they're all fairly varied, and there's no combination that has too many species growing in the same area, so that's also good. The only thing I'm slightly worried about is that as I've been doing this, I haven't really taken into account any plants or species from other biomes, and this all kind of assumes that the jungle biome is going to be completely separate from all other biomes in the game, and that's not really how I want it to be. I'd like there to be some overlap between biomes, and I'd like it to be possible for plants to grow in that overlap area, so that's something I need to think about going forwards. Just been finishing off the afternoon today with a bit more modelling. I've been planning out some of the other biomes, and I realised that some of them don't really have enough small plants, so I've just been making a few more, but now I'm going to stop for dinner. So today I plan on finishing off all of the models for the plants and the trees in Equilinox. And I've already done this for the animals, so all of the animal models are already finished, and I did that a couple of months ago, but I never got around to doing it for the plants and the trees, so that's what I'm going to do today. And before I can do that, I've just been going through my notes and writing up all of the breeding trees in a slightly more official fashion here, and I've just been listing out all of the species for each of the biomes in the game. So you can see obviously the desert and the jungle biomes are completely finished. All of the models have already been made for them, but I'm still writing up some of the other biomes, and there'll probably be about 5 or 6 more models that I need to make. Just about to stop for lunch now, and all morning today I've been finishing off this document with all the breeding trees for the plants and the trees, and I've now worked out which models I still have to make, and I've made a list of them here in Trello, so I'm going to get started with making them once I've had my lunch. So just finished making the first model of the day, which is this leafy plant which is going to go in the tropical biome, and next up I'm going to work on some of the trees for the snow biome. Just finished making the models for these 2 new tree species, and I also made all of the younger versions as well. So that is now all of the models done for the mountainous biome. And next I think I'm going to finish off the plants for the tropical biome. Just remembered that there was one more type of plant that I needed to make for the snow biome, which is a berry bush, just because there needs to be some sort of food source available for the animals that live there, so I've just made a very simple model for that. It is 6 o'clock now, and I've still just been making models. I made the younger versions for this new tree here, but now I'm going out to dinner with a few friends. So to finish off the day, I've just been updating this document with all of the new models that I've made. So a lot of the biomes are now completely finished. Anyone with a picture is now finished. So I've still got to do the marsh biome. There's a couple of plants left to do there, and one more plant for the tropical biome, but pretty much everything else is now done. It is Friday morning, and today I'm pretty much just going to be doing editing for this week's video because I've got a few friends staying over at the weekend, so I need to get everything done today. Next week I'll be continuing on with the plants, getting the final plants into the game and doing all of their environmental requirements, and then once the plant's finished I'll be moving on to the animals. But for this week that is pretty much going to be it. Thank you guys very much for watching this video. Do subscribe if you haven't already. Have a fantastic week, and I will see you all next time.